All right. Happy rest day. We have finally made it to the day of rest. And before I get into all the details on my rest day and what I usually do, I'm sure you're curious. This is, hey, it looks like you're inside a car. And that's because I am. I had decided to head over to my favorite wetlands kind of city park. It's got a lot of trails and dirt paths and everything like that. And I was going to, do some walk and talk. And I really want to try that out. And then also maybe do kind of sit on some park benches or something. Just a little different than the in-home video updates because it's a rest day and I got time to do it. And I got over here and the wind is just howling. Crazy thing is, just a couple days ago, it was like 90 degrees and no wind. And now, end of March, start of April weather, it's really windy. And so it wasn't able to pick up on the microphone good. And it's just gotten cold. So, I could have gone home and just said, we'll get them again tomorrow. Or I thought, you know what, I might as well just do an in-car update. So here I am giving details about my rest day. Definitely needed the rest day. Let me tell you, I woke up not necessarily sore, but my muscles could tell that I had worked 5 days in a row, and they were definitely needed. So I'm glad I just took that opportunity. It just comes and goes. And we'll see. I was going to restart the next rotation on. See, now there's people pulling in, everything like that. I'm sure they're going to find out it's too windy too. So I apologize if I move my head around. But back to my original subject matter was just talking about the rest day and how, the rotation is supposed to start tomorrow. But honestly, depending on how I feel, it may get bumped to Monday. I don't usually like doing that close out of the gate when I first restart my fitness journey, but it may happen, and that's perfectly fine. But I will probably be fully rested, and the muscles, they're not sore, but they're just tired. You can just tell that they're tired, and that they've been worked for the first time in a couple months. Yeah, it's been a couple months. You always got to think about that. That's the problem when you restart. Can't remember if you've restarted for 2 years or 1 year. Sorry, this guy's got a really pretty dog that he's got on a leash, and it's just looking over. So I'll keep the paranoia looks. I'll stop doing that. So as best as I can, I do apologize. Oh Lord. Okay, so the rest day for me, what does a rest day look like? Usually it just means absolutely just not going to the gym. That's honestly the extent of a rest day for me. I just need the break from it, from the physical break, and also just the middle break of, the routine of getting up, going to the gym, everything that goes along with that. So that's all it really means to me. Is just not going to the gym. Now, when I was younger, and I'm sure a lot of younger guys probably experienced this too, it's probably hard to even fathom a rest day. You just got so much more energy and you're just go, go, go. Definitely when you get older, 30s, 40s, and I'm sure in my 50s and 60s, the need for a rest day isn't even a question. It's just something that's there, and that's how I feel. So no gym today, not even going to sweat it. Now, my only long-term fear on rest days, and this is something that's happened to me a few times, is that the rest day just turns into a rest month or a rest 2 months or 6 months or however long before I decide to go back to the gym. And that's just something I've always got to overcome. I have no problems. I feel comfortable taking a rest day. It doesn't really affect me at all, but I could easily turn it into a rest 3 months. And so in these early weeks, it's really just about keeping that motivation up, and focusing kind of on the longer term goal, which is just returning to fitness and being healthy. And then you just incorporate the rest day as part of your workout schedule. And and then it's like, once that's over, you go back to the next one. Now, it is kind of interesting that, the rest day fell on a Saturday. I know a lot of people that I know, that go Monday through Friday to the gym, and then the weekends here, Saturday, Sunday, and the diet and the exercise and everything else is out the window. And when I was younger, I think I could fall into that trap several times. That was kind of my viewpoint, is let's work hard and then on the weekend we'll rest. But, Mondays are a little tougher. And so what I've done to overcome that is I just do that 4 or 5 day, routine cycle, whatever you want to call it, where, I do my lifts, 4 to 5 days. And then on that 5th or 6th day, I rest. And so it's irregardless of what, if it's Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day it is, I just, rest. And so that really cuts down on, okay, it's a weekend. Well, yeah, it's a weekend, but the day of the week doesn't really matter to me. It's just where I'm at on that cycle. And so when a Tuesday comes, if that's the rest day, then, that's when I rest and enjoy life, which I do enjoy life the rest of the days too when I'm working out. But, just give yourself a little bit of room. So tomorrow, hey, we're back at it again on a Sunday. So that'll kind of cut down on any, food shenanigans or anything like that today. And that's kind of that's just been my strategy to get through it, is to just not look at it as a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just kind of look at it as where you're at in a cycle. And I don't know, I'd be curious to see if other people do that too. When I go to the gym on the weekends, it seems like it's a different group of people in there than that are there during the weekdays. Like I've said before, I try to go in the mornings, and most of those people that are in there in the mornings are the regular people. You can tell that, they're the same people I've seen for years. And then on the weekends, you may see them one or two, but they're clearly on a Monday through Friday type workout regime. And I'm sure if you're working and you got kids and the school bus and everything that goes with it, you kind of do structure around your fitness or your gym routine around that schedule. So when you're just kind of floating along, you've got a little bit more flexibility and everything like that. So, all right. So for today's rest day, the plan is we are going to get some exercise. By that, we were just going to go walk. I've got Crocs on. I don't even have tennis shoes on. So it wasn't going to be anything serious. It was more just kind of a mental break. But the wind and the temperature is just not going to cooperate today. Yeah, I could go bundle up, but I really don't want to, because I'm still kind of clinging on to that 90-degree weather we had a few days ago. Also thought about maybe going out to the driving range, but again, with the wind, I don't know how productive that would be. So if it dies down a little bit later this afternoon, we may do that. And then, we'll go start back up tomorrow morning. And, if it is calmer tomorrow, then I may try to make it out to the driving range on Sunday afternoon or in the morning after the workout. We'll just have to see how that kind of plays out. I know a lot of it for me is just kind of being flexible, and it's really easy to get thrown off too. I could easily just stop and just go home and go back to bed or lay around or do whatever. So, but just trying to stay in that kind of active fitness mindset. And then as far as food wise today, I don't know. I don't really do cheat meals per se. If I want a donut, I'm in my late 40s or middle 40s, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to go get a donut. And I've also found out that over the years, getting a donut really cuts down on the need to go get 18 donuts or 12 donuts or something crazy and just have some massive wipeout binge. I'm sure that doesn't work for everybody. I'm sure some people, if they do have that one taste of it, then it just kind of triggers, and no matter what. But I don't really, even on a rest day, I will try to go maybe try something new, or maybe go try a favorite. Honestly, my favorite is barbecue, some pulled pork or brisket or chicken or something like that. And so I'll usually go try some of that somewhere. Not every time, or maybe some Mexican food or something, but it's not something to beat myself up about. Those days are long gone, and this is like I've preached over and over again. For me, it's about sustainability and how just to continue on, living a healthy, fitness-oriented lifestyle, so that as I age, I can have, the best options. And I don't know if that's the right word, but the best opportunity to have a fulfilling, life towards the end of, the end of life, whatever that will be. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. And yeah, I think I'll do barbecue. That sounds pretty good. And, maybe we'll do like a late barbecue lunch and then, prepare mentally for the gym tomorrow. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. Hey, awesome news too. I did come across other kind of vlogs, YouTube pages like this, YouTube channels about there where other folks in their 40s and 50s are kind of sharing their day to day. They've also, undergone some or undergoing weight loss or yo-yo weight loss issues in or fitness goals and stuff like that. So that's really cool to see. And that's kind of, like I've said many times before, that's kind of why I got into this part of it is just a new way of accountability. You got to try something different. And I have, gone on some really good fitness streaks and then off of them and on and off and on. And so I've learned a lot over the years doing this. And so I just thought, maybe let's try the YouTube channel variation of it and see what we can do. So anyway, if you're off to lift, have a great lift. If you're off to do some cardio, have a great cardio. If you're off on a rest day, enjoy the rest, both mentally and physically, which is what I'm going to do. And we'll get after it tomorrow. Appreciate everybody watching.